Hi, and welcome to the Mentally Stronger podcast. I'm Melly O'Brien, and excuse my croaky and kind of gruffly voice this week. I'm just getting over COVID, so bear with me. Today, I want to talk about a favorite practice of mine that helps us to create some more mental space and inner peace when we're getting stressed, anxious, or caught up in any unhelpful thought or emotion. This practice is called when in doubt, zoom out. So there's a metaphor that really helps you to understand the power of this practice. If you get a tablespoon of salt and you pour it into a cup of water, it's going to be intensely salty, really unpleasant to taste. However, if you put that same tablespoon of salt into a swimming pool of water, the salt's going to be barely perceptible. Still there, barely perceptible. In the same way, when our minds begin to fixate on our problems, our insecurities, our anxieties, and our struggles, they tend to feel very intense and very overwhelming. The mind can get very constricted around them. And it seems like our problems, our issues can take up almost all of our mental space. And there's not much room for anything else. However, conversely, the more that we can actually open up mental space around our problems, our issues, our insecurities, the less they actually bother us. So how can we do this practice? How can we open up mental space? So the first thing that I always do when I'm finding my mind racing or constricted is to just take a pause and take a few mindful breaths just to ground and relax. Then, once you've taken a breath, you take a moment to zoom out into a much greater perspective of what's happening in that moment. And you can start, by just acknowledging that it's not only the problems rolling around in your head that's happening in any given moment of life. For instance, there might also be birds singing in the trees, the tree gently moving in the wind, the sun shining on your skin. So it can be really helpful to just take a moment to connect with what's happening in your immediate surroundings, just listening and feeling and sensing. And then you can continue to kind of pan out to an even broader perspective, just taking a moment to think about the fact that right now there's planets spinning, everything is changing and in flux in the universe, and time is moving on. Another beautiful thing to acknowledge as you pan out from your problems is there might be some really good things in your life. Right in that moment, there's people who love you, perhaps, food in your cupboards, your body is working, you're safe. So there may be, in other words, a lot of things that you can be grateful for in that moment, as well as the things that are difficult. So this is not about wearing rose-colored lenses and not asking you to ignore the difficult things in your life. But rather, when we do this practice of zooming out, we offer a more balanced perspective of what's going on in your life. It allows you to hold whatever's bothering you in a larger container of awareness. It's like we surround the problem with this mindful awareness. And then suddenly it doesn't seem so overwhelming or so deadly serious. We can view it from this much broader perspective and therefore deal with whatever's in front of you with greater wisdom, equanimity, and effectiveness. We're not that effective when we're totally overwhelmed by our challenges. So we don't have to get rid of mental struggles or unpleasant emotions, but instead, when we're caught up in them, we simply notice that we're caught up, take that breath, and then zoom out into this larger awareness and give ourselves back some mental space, a more balanced perspective, and more freedom and peace of mind. So my invitation is to give this a try in the next week and see how it feels in your direct experience, whether it's useful or helpful for you. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section below here on YouTube or to email me through the website. The next time you feel caught up in stress, worry, rumination, or any kind of unhelpful thought or emotion, anything that's dragging you into stress or suffering, just remember, take a breath, take a moment to zoom out, and take in the bigger picture of all that is happening in the present moment and in your life. And let this practice reconnect you to the aliveness and the fullness that is within and all around you in any given moment. That fullness and aliveness that we can so easily lose touch with when we're caught up in our heads. I hope this is really helpful for you. Thank you for your practice. Take care and stay strong. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to this channel by hitting the subscribe button below. And if you know someone who you think might benefit from listening to this episode, share it with them. Sharing it could really help them feel better and improve the quality of their life. And if you'd like some more in-depth support on becoming mentally stronger, come and check out the coaching and training options that I offer on my website. Thanks for listening. Take care and stay strong.